What can we do? I think of something. At this rate, Nicole will.
Mr. Prosecutor, it's true I did an awful thing for a scoop, but I never killed nobody.
A confession!
Ah, shit. I could never do a thing like that.
Decisive evidence. If I could prove the murder weapon was Knightley's gun... I've always had a hang-up as far as double negatives go. Because sometimes they're intentional, and, you know, they're used in situations for humor and such. But for the most part, I never killed nobody, or I ain't done nothing. It's like, it's clear the intent, despite the double negative, and rather than be a grammar Nazi and say, ooh, his grammar is flawed, one should instead look at, you know, the meaning and message behind the word, because it's just your dialect at that point. It's a result of how you grew up and your location. You know, the rules of grammar vary depending on where you are, but whatever, I'm soapboxing about my major at this point. Proof it was his gun.
Yeah, it'd be great if you had the bullet that hit the balloon. Then you could examine it and see if the ballistic markings match my gun.
Well, I mean, yeah, the one that hit the balloon is kind of lost to the bottom of the lake, and the one... Actually, where is the one that hit Rook? Because the one that hit the president's vest is planted there.
If we can find
the bullet that took Rook's life, we can determine which gun fired the shot from the ballistic markings.
If you've got no evidence, then we're done talking.
Hold it!
What? You don't seriously have decisive evidence.
Humph! Naturally.
That's a big joke. Well, come on now, show us. What is this so-called evidence?
The bullet that took Rook's life, that's the decisive evidence I need. This evidence, do I have it? I don't think I have the bullet, per se. Unless I look... One of the monitors is missing. I think the bullet might have knocked out the monitor. But as far as evidence... Won't pass through his body. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the bullet took out the monitor, so... I could try and present that. Maybe. It's worth a shot. I have plenty of, you know, life there. It's 50-50. I have the bullet right here, somewhere.
If Canary doesn't sing, just shoot it. Or as the saying goes.
I don't think that's a saying.
Just as I hoped. I'm gonna blast a hole in you, right in your chest.
Jesus Christ. Rook was killed here, so where did the bullet go? Well, come to think of it, there's one thing in this room that's always felt out of place. Really? Bullet looks right. Evidence, do I have it? I don't have it.
Okay, it's game over, man.
However, it is somewhere in this room.
What?
How many bullets do you have in there? The bullet that killed Rook pierced through his body, so where did the bullet go earlier? You explained it like this. I feel as though I shouldn't have been penalized for that. The bullet that took... However, now that the fake assassination plan has come to light, we know that the bullet in the bulletproof vest was prepared earlier. So then where did the bullet go?
Interesting, very interesting. Do you have the answer?
Ah, here we go. I should. This bad boy. Yeah. In this room, there's one thing that is clearly missing. Is it the train outside of that guy's apartment? I hope you can't hear that. Jesus Christ. Loud train.
Something missing? You sure it's not your brain?
I'd like you to look at the rack of security monitors. Gah. It seems you noticed, Mr. President, among these images of the plane's surroundings, only the feed on the right side of the plane is absent. That's what's missing, a single monitor. Mr. President, there was originally a monitor here, wasn't there?
That's right. Why is there a stuffed toy now?
That must have been put there to hide the empty space where the monitor used to be. Why is the monitor missing, and where did it go? Why? Undoubtedly because it was hit by the bullet. In order to make us think that the bullet really hit the bulletproof vest. It would be a problem if another bullet hole was discovered.
So then where did the monitor go?
Where? It should be hidden somewhere inside this plane. There hasn't been a chance to dispose of it outside since it was shot. Detective Gumshoe, search the plane.
Roger that, sir.
President Huang, you said extraterritorial laws apply to this plane.
I will allow it. There's no problem. I just want to know the truth, Brooks Death.
Damn it, you think this is a joke? You're always like this, rook that.
Detective, we have his approval. Go ahead.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found it, sir.
Good work, Detective.
No talk of a salary?
Whatever, he did something right. You should reward him. Let's extract the bullet from the monitor.
If I do this here and then do that, I got it.
Well, it's definitely stained with blood. I'm certain this is the bullet that killed Rook.
Bloody bullet.
But this bullet will... This is the bullet that will crush your arguments. The sight of evidence now blows a hole in your logic. If the ballistic markings on this bullet do not match the gun we found in the audience area, Miss Swift will be cleared of suspicion. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Detective, we need to examine the ballistic markings. Send the gun and the bullet for forensics.
Roger. We should be able to find clear markings on the bullet, sir.
Yeah, see, like there, I feel like that was a good Gumshoe. But there were some times earlier, it was kind of shit. Now, let's listen to the forensics report. I wonder if Meekins is in this game. He made a cameo in the last one.
Reporting! First, the blood matches the victim's... The blood in the bullet matches the victim's blood.
So, this bullet really did take Rook's life.
Also, Horace Knightley's fingerprints were found on this gun.
Knightley's fingerprints probably came from when he took all our evidence. The real issue is the ballistic markings. If the markings don't match, Miss Swift will be cleared of suspicion.
And the bullet's ballistic markings match this gun.
What? They match?
What? No way. There's no mistake. The bullet was fired from this gun.
What? Alright, that's a wrench.
Huh, that's strange. Looks like I was right after all, naturally. Did you really think you had me cornered?
How'd the bullet from the monitor wind up on that gun?
You misread the board. I'm the one who's been cornered. Is you.
I still don't know how the bullet wound up in the monitor.
If ballistic markings match the gun, then there can be no doubt. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun you found in the audience area. Who could have used the gun? Not me, because I was on stage.
Excuse me.
But what about the lady reporter in the audience? All the evidence points to the young lady as the assassin who killed Rook. No, it's your move, Mr. Prosecutor. Where did you find this gun again? And which gun fired the bullet? At least we know. It ain't me.
This can't be happening.
President and I have admitted to the fake assassination plot. Now it's your turn to admit who the real criminal is.
That doesn't make Nicole the criminal. Don't get riled up, Kay. Let him have his say first. After he's done, it won't be too late to begin our counterattack.
All right, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ugh. It'd also be nice to just talk out logic with somebody in this game.
If the ballistic markings match the gun, there can be no doubt.
Oh. No, that's...
Didn't you say it earlier? This decisive evidence. Well, how does it feel to have a hole blown through your reasoning? The ballistic markings match the gun we found, so... Does that mean Nicole really was the shooter?
I'd like to believe otherwise.
Sorry, fiddling with something.
But he's got the decisive evidence on his side, sir.
Indeed. How should I proceed? If Miss Swift isn't the killer, then the ballistic markings should not match. thoughts, Kay? If the evidence is impossible, then maybe we should doubt the evidence itself, right? Doubt the evidence? Nicole's definitely not a criminal, so if the evidence says she's a criminal, there must be something wrong with it. You seem awfully sure of yourself. It's a great thief's intuition. Intuition? Still, it's quite possible. Above all, Miss Swift doesn't seem like the type... This is a long press. Doesn't seem like the type of person to tell such elaborate lies. In court, the evidence is everything, and yet here I am doubting it. Which evidence do I doubt? Ooh! Well, let's see. He said backing up a bit so he could fiddle properly while talking his way through this. I don't think we should doubt the bullets, per se. Or do I? The bullets were definitely fired. And you can't fuck with ballistic markings. That's not a thing. That, first of all, that's also, you know, that's golden gospel even in this game. Ballistic markings are always accurate. So the bullets are unlikely. The gun was planted there, clearly. It doesn't seem like there's really a way it could have been planted by Knightley after he shot him. Which evidence do I doubt? Neither? That would mean that the gun... I'm leaning towards the gun, but I can't figure out why in my head. Pretty sure it's the gun, though. If anything's suspect here, it can only be the gun. The bullet was discovered just a moment ago. It couldn't have been tampered with yet. Did Knightley have a chance to tamper with a gun? Possible. Oh! I'm also not doing that voice again. I'll do the flashback version. That's it! He could have tampered with the gun at that time. There's no doubt that this gun is the Oh, he switched guns on us. That sneaky bitch! There's no doubt that this gun is the real murder weapon. In that case, the owner of this gun is Knightley. Wait. Okay, so... Ow. The gun we got in the park was planted there, and Knightley's gun is the one that fired. And when he had all of our evidence, he tampered with it so that his gun looked like it was the one found in the park, and the one found in the park now looked like his gun. So, the owner of the gun is still Knightley.
Take that!
He must have switched the guns. Without a doubt, this is Knightley's own gun. Yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't come to that conclusion, but that makes perfect sense.
Bullet kill work was fired from the gun you found in the audience area.
So... Can I just now present this? Switch the gun. Clearly, as you can see by this evidence report, you switched the guns.
Oh, shit. Can't argue with that.
That was a very valuable pressing. Knightley,
You're the one who said who should hold it. You proved it yourself. Don't tell me you're going to betray your own logic.
The bullet is stained with the victim's blood, so it's clear it took the victim's life. And the ballistic markings match the gun we found on the trash can.
Nice, nice. Your face betrays your thoughts, Mr. Prosecutor.
At this rate, he'll get away.
Now that you've got a firm grasp of reality, it's time to take the next step. The link between the gun and the bullet is clear, so... Who could have used the gun?
Yeah, alright, I'll keep pressing. Who, indeed?
You already know the answer. You just don't want to admit it. I know the feeling. It's probably like how I felt before. Feeling so irritated you're just itching to pull the trigger.
Not as such, Knightley. You're just a gun-happy lunatic.
But this ain't the time to be joking around. Only one person could have used that gun. Not me, because I was on stage. But what about that lady reporter in the audience?
Do you have proof that Miss Swift fired the gun? I think we should still address the fact that he's somehow suggesting she fired a gun that passed through him and then the bullet wound up inside of a monitor inside of a plane. Like, really? Do you have proof Miss Swift fired the gun?
Well there, didn't the boys in blue already prove that? But Nicole's fingerprints weren't found on the gun.
And yours were all over it, pal.
Well, that's because I was handling all the evidence earlier. If the lady isn't the killer, who else could it have been? You're the one who's cornered the assassin in the audience. Capiche? In fact, from every angle on the board, all the evidence points to that young lady as the assassin who killed Rook.
I don't recall that being proven.
Well, what exactly have you proved? Oh yeah, you proved that I fired the first bullet. But you're forgetting one crucial thing. Why were you were called here in the first place?
That's obvious, pal. We came to find the truth.
But you consider the worsening relationships with Zhang Fa to be the truth? No, your purpose here was to solve an assassination attempt.
My purpose here is for me to decide. It is not to be decided by the likes of you.
Whatever, if you spend all day arguing like this, the case is going to go unsolved. Just give it up already. The real criminal is that lady over there.
No, the real criminal can be none other than this man. The ballistic markings match the gun we discovered in the trash can. When did Knightley have the opportunity to touch the gun? Yeah, alright, this is a bit redundant already. Can only be one Edgeworth. Oh my god, how long does he prattle on? Jesus. Ballistic markings match the gun, there can be no doubt. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun. So do I just present this? Objection! I guess I do. That was easy. Knightley, you fiend! You switched the guns! And that gun that matched the ballistic markings was yours all along.
Heh. Interesting choice of move you've made there.
And the switch occurred at the time you seized the evidence, when we were arguing with the President over the investigation rights. See? Clearly you can tell by this artist's rendition. Damn, that is a nice suit that can hold in his fat. He's even got back muscles coming through there. You detached the laser sight from the gun you found in the audience area, and attached it to your gun. Then, when you returned the evidence, you gave me your own gun.
Heh, did I do that?
Wow, set me up for that one.
So now you're saying it was now. So what you're saying is that I knew you would want to examine the ballistic markings.
Indeed, staying one move ahead of your opponent. Isn't that the fundamental rule of chess? Actually, that one is.
I'm glad you feel that way, Mr. Prosecutor, but you're giving me too much credit. I'm not that clever.
Is that really his defense?
Of course I couldn't kill it. I'm not that smart.
That would work for some people.
Can you even prove I pulled the old switcheroo with the guns? Knightley's logic. So the gun happens to be the same model as mine. Pure coincidence. But take a closer look. Only one of them has a laser pointer attached. Check the number of bullets in the left in the chamber. Only 2 shots fired, see? There's no evidence I switched the guns, right?
Giving you too much credit, that hardly sounds like something you'd say.
Guess I'm just more modest than you, douche. Well, except when I'm in front of a chessboard.
But we're not in front of a chessboard.
That's too bad. Don't use that as an excuse later. I didn't lose the game, I just couldn't find enough evidence.
You're the one who should have an excuse ready. Fuck, do I want to attempt him doing a Knightley voice?
Ew.
Fuck. You didn't beat me at chess.
You didn't beat me at chess, you only found the evidence.
There you go, that's Edgeworth doing a Knightley voice. Something that happens. Oh, okay. Happens to be the same model, pure coincidence. Aren't they, like, only allowed in Zhengfa? That's our logic, though. It's not actual evidence, I don't think. Yeah. Pure coincidence.
Coincidence?
You say?
Or perhaps it was simply bound to happen.
Which was it, pal?
Us bodyguards need to use them to protect the president. And no matter how you slice it, the lady is a total amateur with guns. It was necessary for both of us to use revolvers.
A revolver?
Like the one Knightley's carrying.
Why would it be necessary? It has a simpler mechanism and it's easier to use. Something along those lines, probably. Yeah, the hammer is a bit easier than the chamber, but, you know.
When you gotta get the job done, or if you're new to this sort of thing, there's nothing better.
When you're new to firing guns to protect people, there's nothing better than a revolver. Packs a lot of kicks, so you know you kill whatever you shoot at.
The truth is, I thought it was pure coincidence all along. But take a closer look, only one of them has a laser pointer attached.
You attach a laser pointer to the gun yourself.
Oh yeah? Prove it. Show me the evidence.
Well, that's,
You can't go around calling people liars without proof.
Well, you can, it's just uncouth.
Didn't your daddy teach you that? Ooh, low blow. On that point, I've got evidence on my side. Check the number of bullets left in the chamber. Only 2 shots are fired, see?
One thing's been bothering me for a while now. What about the chamber of your own gun?
My woman here, now that you mention it.
He's fired, like, up at his head 4 times now.
I've been firing it off for a while now.
Yeah, remember? Every time he fires, he reloads the gun.
There's no way to check if the status... So there's no way to check its status from the time of the incident.
And that's it. In order to switch the guns, he would have needed to reload the bullets. Knightley is barehanded, and he has no time to put on gloves when the switch was made.
Well, I think it's about time for me to resign. You to resign. How about it, Prosecutor Edgeworth? So, there's no evidence I switched the guns, right?
So your fingerprints will be on the bullets. If it's...
There isn't any. If there is, show it to me.
We know there is, pal, don't we, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's no time for another investigation. I can only use what I have right now. Think. Consider all the possibilities.
If you've got something to show, let me know.
Haven't Sniley... Oh, I like that. Anyways, so... There's no evidence I switched the guns. So... We're suggesting his fingerprints would be on the bullets. Do I just present the gun here? I imagine... If I don't present it here, I imagine I present it... here? But I imagine it's here, because he's specifically saying there's no evidence. So, let's give it a try. Oh, the music died? Hell yeah! We'll see Edgeworth wrap this case up in the next episode. That evidence is this. We'll see more in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tokenlad. Talk to you later. Sure to negotiate. See you around, Ass Clowns. Check out my Patreon if you can. Every little bit helps.